Attention, passionate Dallas Cowboys fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East, and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another championship run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before we dive in, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and fellow Dallas Cowboys fans. Let's get to the news. Today, folks, we're looking at a story that has been buzzing around the NFL circles for a while now, but has just gained some serious traction. Kyle Pitts potentially heading to the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, you heard that right. The Cowboys, a team known for their relentless pursuit of improving their roster, are reportedly in the mix for one of the most intriguing tight ends wide receivers in recent draft history. Now, Pitts' journey in the NFL so far has been a roller coaster, and that S putting it mildly. He burst onto the scene with a bang in his rookie year especially, showing why he was a top 5 pick. Over 68 receptions, more than 1,000 yards, and that undeniable talent that made every NFL team take notice. It seemed at the time like Atlanta had found a real star, a potential game changer at the tight end position, or more accurately, a hybrid weapon that can line up anywhere and cause problems. But as we all know, the NFL is a harsh mistress. After that stellar rookie season, things started to go sideways for Pitts. Injuries, specifically an MCL tear in November 2022, derailed his momentum. He missed the rest of that season, and when he came back, the production just didn't match the early promise. His yardage dipped 356 yards in 2022, and then, despite a decent 2023 with 667 yards, the trend was clear. 2024 wasn't much better. He finished with just 602 yards. It's apparent that things haven't clicked for Pitts in Atlanta the way many envisioned when he was drafted so high. The Falcons, for their part, are in a position where they need to consider their options. They're looking to rebuild, retool, and especially accumulate draft capital for the future. Trading Pitts, a player with undeniable talent but inconsistent production, makes strategic sense. In fact, many insiders and fans are now questioning whether Atlanta will look to cash in on Pitts and turn him into draft picks, specifically those of the 2025 NFL Draft. Now, here's where the story gets really interesting for Dallas fans. The Cowboys, traditionally seen as a team that's always hunting for that missing piece, whether it's a receiver, a defensive star, or a lineman, have been linked to numerous trade rumors this offseason. But most of the focus has been on wide receivers. Dallas, after all, has a glaring need on the outside. CeeDee Lamb is a bona fide star, but beyond him, the depth isn't convincing. Jalen Tolbert and Jonathan Mingo, despite flashes of potential, haven't struck fear into opposing defenses. The Cowboys' offense last year showed signs of greatness, but also glaring vulnerabilities, especially in stretching the field and creating explosive plays. Dak Prescott, returning from injury, needs reliable targets who can consistently threaten the defense deep, and that's exactly where Pitts could come into play. Some fans may be surprised to hear this, but Pitts isn't just a tight end, he's more of a glorified wide receiver, a mismatched nightmare for defenses. And the Cowboys already have Jake Ferguson, a solid inline tight end, but Pitts would give them that weapon on the outside, a true downfield threat that can take the top off a defense. Imagine a scenario where Brian Schottenheimer, the offensive coordinator, has the flexibility to move Pitts around, use him on routes that exploit mismatches, and really open up the offense. With Pitts' ability to run routes and catch the ball in traffic, he could become that extra spark Dallas' offense desperately needs, especially with the return of Prescott. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let's continue with the big reveal. Now let us talk about the strategic fit and the potential deal. The Falcons, as I mentioned, are looking to maximize their draft capital for 2025. Trading Pitts could net them a 3rd-round pick and a 5th-round pick, or perhaps even more, depending on negotiations. This is a win-win in many ways. Atlanta gets draft capital to rebuild and add young talent who better fit their offensive scheme, while Dallas gets a high-upside player who can contribute immediately. It's a classic buy low situation. Pitts' production hasn't been eye-popping lately, but his talent remains undeniable. The Cowboys wouldn't have to give up a 1st-round pick, which makes this a very attractive move, especially considering their current roster needs. And for Pitts, Dallas offers a fresh start, a team that's looking to contend now and has the offensive system to utilize his talents properly. The fit makes sense. Plus, with the way the NFL is evolving, the hybrid tight end wide receiver role is becoming more prominent, and Pitts fits that mold perfectly. His ability to line up on the outside, create mismatches, and stretch defenses vertically makes him a perfect complement to CeeDee Lamb. The Cowboys could finally have that explosive element that they've been missing since the days of Dez Bryant, or even before that. It's about maximizing their personnel and creating a more dynamic, unpredictable offense. What about the price? Well, considering Pitts' recent production dip, a trade involving a third-round and fifth-round pick in 2025 seems reasonable. Atlanta gets draft capital to rebuild, and Dallas gets a guy who can step in and make an immediate impact. It's a smart move for both sides. The key is whether the Falcons see Pitts as a long-term piece or if they're willing to part ways for the right price. Given their rebuilding phase, I think they'll jump at an opportunity to acquire draft picks and reshape their roster. Now, let us not forget the other side of this story, Dallas' current roster, and how this move might reshape their offense. We know the importance of a reliable, explosive receiver to take some pressure off Lamb. Mingo and Talbot have flashed potential, but they haven't established themselves as consistent threats. Bringing in Pitts could fill that gap, giving Prescott a true weapon on the outside, someone who can make contested catches, run precise routes, and create mismatches all over the field. Plus, with the offensive line stabilizing and Dak Prescott back healthy, this is the perfect time for Dallas to make a bold move that could elevate their offense to another level. And speaking of Prescott, his chemistry with a player like Pitts could be special. Prescott loves to throw to big, athletic targets, and Pitts' skill set aligns perfectly with that. With the right coaching and scheme adjustments, Pitts could flourish in Dallas, becoming a favorite target and a key piece for their playoff push. The Cowboys have always been about maximizing talent, and this move could be exactly that, a strategic upgrade that doesn't break the bank but provides high upside. Now, on the flip side, what does this mean for Atlanta? Well, they get to focus on rebuilding, acquiring future draft capital, and perhaps targeting other positions of need like offensive line help or secondary depth. Pitts' trade value isn't sky high right now, but given his talent and potential, the Falcons could see this as a way to get a good return without sacrificing too much. Plus, they could target other tight ends or receivers in the draft to fill the void. And let me tell you, folks, the NFL trade market this year is shaping up to be one of the most fascinating in recent memory. Teams are more aggressive than ever, and the Cowboys are no strangers to bold moves. A trade for Pitts would send shockwaves through the league, signaling that Dallas is all in on contending this season. It's a move that could redefine their offense, and honestly, it's the kind of move that could push them over the top. So, as we watch this story unfold, keep in mind that the Dallas Cowboys are always looking for that extra piece to put them in Super Bowl contention. Pitts isn't just a flashy name. He has a game-changing talent if used correctly. If this trade happens, it could be a turning point for the Cowboys' offense and their championship aspirations. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Dallas Cowboys. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Dallas Cowboys news. Thanks for sticking with me through this deep dive into one of the most exciting rumors of the offseason. Remember to like, share, and subscribe if you want more exclusive insights, analysis, and breaking news about your team. The Cowboys are always in the news, and we're here to cover it all. From draft rumors to trades, from injury updates to game day analysis, we've got you covered. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and as always, go Cowboys.